Here I come to you again with a sense of service. Thank you for trusting my voice, my channel. Tukoriada continues with narratives, stories, perspectives beyond sports sometimes or within the lanes, the 8 lanes of the road. Today is no different. I challenge you again to have a conversation with me when you can and when you stop by, because the conversations of Tukoriada takes different angles, and I hope you are enjoying them as they come, one episode at a time. My goal is not how many episodes, my goal is how friendly, how democratic my community of subscribers, my viewers continue to be. Because at the end of it, my goal is to form this community, and hopefully I hold them engaged and embracing our diversity, our diverse views, our DNA complexity, because we are complex creatures when you think about it. And that's the beauty of it. The diversification of humanity is what makes us great. Because if we all just sing the same chorus, it's a boring universe. And so, sports in essence is a big sport. Did I just repeat myself? Sports, athletics, is a big platform. It has a universal appeal. It's like religion. It has a way of attracting, luring in, sucking in an audience. It's almost cultic. But at the same time, within that cult or that system of sports, are different voices that might be challenging other areas of our systems that seems to be skewed towards oppression, brutality, injustice. I say this because I want to give you just a little bit of a foundation to another discussion that always makes me wake up and be hopeful about people. Um, Olympics, I've alluded to this maybe in some episodes. Olympics is just a massive, massive platform. It's more than sports. Right now, Milano Winter Olympics is going on. I haven't been able to keep up with that. I'm barely warm myself, and I think of Winter Olympics. Olympics, I'm like, how do those guys make it in Italy? A lot of goals are to be won, a lot of medals. But I want to throw you back. Let me give you a throwback to 1968, where you have two Americans, two African Americans back in Tommy Smith and John Carlos. They are receiving medals, they are 400-meter runners, and they put a fist up in the air to protest the way they were being treated in America as second-class citizens with civil rights, slavery, and the history of America, the original sin, some people call it. And after that moment, when it gave that fist salute, they weren't calling Kaepernick in America. They were seen as unpatriotic. They were causing chaos. They were rattling the cage of the snake. Either these Olympics, superpowers America was. They're like, you can't say that about America. We're a great nation. We're a great, in God we trust. But they were treating people, and as they've continued even sometimes in this day and age, treat people of color as not belonging or not to be treated as equal. And that's not just me creating this narrative. I'm not. It's just part of America, not just America. There's nothing equal about the universe we live in. And that's why justice is elusive to many people. And people have been always been told they just need to shut up and dribble. I quickly move forward to 2016 summer, Black Lives Matter, protest, Colin Kaepernick, NFL, he takes the knee, and he joins Tommy Smith and John Carlos. He's protesting about police brutality in America. And NFL, America, ostracizes them, sends them to Siberia, not literally, but that's what the story of these great athletes who have stood on a platform, who have taken advantage of a platform that they are in to voice or to call out a system. Stay with me. LeBron James, basketball players, they took the knee, they, they made that protest. It's symbolic. They're not kind of, they are really saying something isn't right. I'm just giving you this to tell you that that's been going on for a while. There's protest against apartheid in South Africa and the way the system exploited people of color and people who own that land. It's a very strange history. People from Dutch, England, went to a country, colonized it, and made those people feel like dogs for a long time. We forget that history as if it never happened. Then Nelson Mandela comes and people are like, oh yeah, a luta continua, as if a luta continua, which is we fight continues, has stopped. Has it? So justice is just universal. Fairness is universal. The way we treat each other right now is all equal across the board. Is it? Let me tell you why this conversation is within sports. So, protest is not okay. So, what about celebrating when you score a goal as a black person from Brazil, Vinicius Jr., Real Madrid, Benfica? He celebrates a goal by the flag. He scored an incredible goal. He's go there and dancing samba, 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 Brazilian way. They express themselves. He's at a moment. What do the people of French, I can't say it's particularly French, but it's a French referee, gives him a yellow card. What happens after that? The cascade, the avalanche, the abuse, the monkey chants, derogatory language being used across the board. And then when it's all said and done, there's even a suggestion by a coach of Benfica that Vinicius Jr. brought this on himself. There's some people who believe he brought it on himself. By the way, I came from protest, which is not allowed. But now here he is an athlete, a football player who is celebrating that he has accomplished something, he scored a goal. It happens all the time. Let me just compare that celebration with another celebration of another soccer player from Manchester United 2 years ago, I think. Rasmus Højlund. He does a gesture of cutthroat, thumbs down. It's a very violent gesture after scoring a goal. That and that means whatever you want to say it means. It's violent. He's celebrating a goal. Vinicius Jr. celebrated a goal too by dancing. He gets a yellow card. Did Rasmus Højlund of Manchester United get a yellow card? Correct me if he did. I don't remember him getting a yellow card. I don't. Okay, so I'm giving you a picture for you to engage me if you want to. You see what I'm talking of, justice, equal treatment, the elusiveness of it all, and in sports. Stay with me if you can. It gets a little bit exciting. The other day, this last weekend, Tshepiso Masalela from Botswana beats Azedine Habz of France in a 1500-meter race where he ran an incredible time of 3:32. The gesture, the celebration for him was something like, I got you, with a gun shoot kind of a finger, like you can say, oh, that's a gun. Okay, that looks like a gun. Okay, it looks like a gun. So he's telling the opponent, Azedine, I've shot you. Some people say that it's very violent, by the way. People are like, oh my gosh, here's a black guy shooting a French. Pretty much, that's the mind, the conjure up mind. He's celebrating. Like, you've beaten the guy. Vinicius celebrating a goal. He gets a yellow card. What does Tshepiso get for celebrating? His victory against him, against Azedine, disqualified and loses all monetary incentives he was getting because is a sportsmanship conduct, or in whatever that is. People call it what is this in football we call it unsporting conduct behavior. You can't do it. You're taunting your opponent. In America, they say you're posterizing. You should be in NFL. They fine them. They don't take the touchdown from them, so they give you a fine, $10,000, right? This is a man from Botswana. Do they own guns there? Are they a violent nation like America? Maybe not, but he uses that to send a message. Hey, I got you, man. Pop. 2022, interestingly enough, Noah Lyles, the superstar himself, did almost the same thing again as Arion Newton at the finish line. Something like this. It was black on black. Black on black crimes. Okay, black on black violence is permissible, is expected. That's what we say. If the blacks kill themselves, it's okay. But as the Dean Azan is from France, you can't do that to a French athlete. Masalela, you cross the line. That is a French athlete. You can't do that. You're going to be disqualified. You got disqualified. I've just given you a long snapshot of how things run in this world and who wields the power. Who has the power, depending on whom you ask. Botswana, France, DQ. Noah Lyles, Knighton, American, black on black, is okay. Posterizing is allowed. Nothing happens there. They protest somewhere in Mexico. They didn't even get their medals. America rejects them as their athletes. It was bad for America image. Colin Kaepernick, you don't kneel in during the American football. You're gonna be in trouble. You are a villain. You should leave America if you can. That's all I can say about my episode today. No, because I'll tell you this. If you think of the world we live in, and if you think of who has the power and the systems that have powers and who owns those systems, World Athletics, Sebastian Coe, UK, Britain. I don't what. Well, I wonder where he was racing. Where was Tshepiso Masalela running? This race was in It was some race in Europe. It doesn't really matter. But the gesture for him cost him the prize money, and he goes home empty-handed. In fact, funny enough, there's a comment here that I find fascinating. When what's his name? When Niall Niles posterized Arion Knighton in that race here in America back in 2022, these were the commentators in the booth of NBC did. According to Sanya Richard Ross, he just laughed. He's like, it's funny. It's comical, according to the commentator. And then Alto Bolden, this is what he says. That's called being pasteurized right there. So, the gestures of Noah Lyles and Masalela Tshepiso, did I say his name? Sorry, Masalela. They look similar. They look, Tshepiso Masalela, they look similar in symbolically the way both of them seems to be playing out. Is a finish line, you beat somebody, maybe is a lean, and you beat them. And then you go like that. So the other one got disqualified, lost the prize money, goes home to Botswana empty-handed. The other one is funny. Noah Lyles. Shithole country. Where is Botswana? Noah Lyles, American. I guess he has better lawyers here. I'm giving you this because the apex, the whole pyramid of powers, still favors the Western countries. You could be black too, but I'm telling you this, it gets worse if you are from the shithole country of Botswana and you're black and you do just that. You know what's coming. You're going to be reminded where you're from. you're going to be reminded who you are, strongly so, by being disqualified and taking what you came to look for, your prize money. Do you have a recourse for this? Masalela, I doubt it. I don't know whether they're going to protest. They're going to sue the system of Europe being sued by Masalela. Justice and elusiveness of it. If you are from the southern sphere of this civilization that we call the human civilization, if at all we have any left, is that look at the pigmentation of and the target and the backlash when they do anything. They are protesting. You can't do that. They're celebrating. You can't do that either. Just put your monkey tail between your legs and go to Brazil or go to Botswana and don't rock the cage. That's the message from the powers of the Western civilization that scrambled back in the 1800s with King Leopold to civilize and teach people of color how to behave. In the process, they unleashed wrath, barbaric killings, and murders. And even in sports these days, the same people from the southern sphere, they come here. All they are told is behave yourself. Don't show your emotions. White person somewhere is gonna be scared of your emotions. Don't be loud. Don't show these gestures, because that gesture, according to some people, this gesture that Masalela did is so violent. That gesture is so violent that we forget the violence that has been unleashed around the globe is not from the southern sphere of the world we live in. It's from the same people who are telling those young men and women in Masalela, don't show that because we might do that to you. Not just a gesture this time. We're going to murder you if need be, because that's what they've done historically. In slavery, in colonization, in the way they rule and plundered that part of the world, the way they dictate what you do, you bow down to the gods of the West. Even in sports, you cannot dance Vinicius Jr. Like I say, put that monkey tail between your legs and go back to the jungle. That's the message in sports. From Vinicius Jr., Colin Kaepernick, Tommy Smith, and John Carlos in 1968, LeBron James is told to shut up and dribble. That's all we are supposed to do. It's as if we are being told, you're back in church. Just bow down to the Western powers. It's a sick world we live in. And if you think I'm off, just give me a comment. Masalela disqualifications. Disqualified from a race arena, 3:32. The best time we've seen so far in 1500 meters. And he does that. It's as if he pretty much shot himself. That's the world we live in. It's never over, my friend. The fight. A luta continua, my subscriber. This is your channel. We fight on. Because this guy is being told, oh man, shh, shut up. You're black. Not really. That's the voice of Tukoriada. It's not over. We fight on.